This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 here between ICC and Northwest. If you're just now joining us, the Rangers pull away late for a 5-2 win in the first game of the day. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy here on the Red Channel. And Jeremy, big game here. Indians got to try to rebound and protect home. You want to, it's always said, split on the road, sweep at home. Well, the Rangers got that first part of the piece of the puzzle. Now the Indians have got to take and protect home plate.
Yeah, they do. You can't get swept here at home. And Northwest is obviously a terrific ball club, but if you're number 4 team in the country, really can ill afford to drop this one because obviously this is your biggest competition in terms of trying to win the league in the regular season.
Well, that First American National Bank opening pitch coming your way at 6:14 is breaking pitch across for a strike, makes the count now go 1-1. We'll take a look at today's starting lineups in between the exchange of the innings. For the Indians, though, it's Hunter Hughes, a.k.a. Peanut, getting the start here, and a nice pitch there from Hunter. 1-2 now is the count. Jeremy, I know you got some of those stats on him.
Yeah, Hughes making his 8th appearance. He's 3-1 on the season with a 3.18 ERA. He's pitched 28 1/3 innings pitched this year, 33 hits, 16 runs, 10 earned, 14 walks, 25 strikeouts. So command has been a tad bit of an issue, but obviously a guy with a 3 ERA that's had a pretty good year and has done a really nice job for the Indians in the midweek.
And that one's going to be fouled back for a Renaissance Bank strikeout. A good job that time by Ray Sandroni to hang on to that one. And was able to pick up the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. That's of Tanner Leggett.
And so now, obviously, if you're the Indians, you want to get Hughes to have the same production on the mound that you got out of Justin Medlin. One good thing about it is there are 2 fewer innings. I would imagine Indians are going to sell out to win this one. You can't lose at home, particularly against the team that could beat you for the regular season. So I would imagine from a bullpen standpoint, they will do what they can, but they certainly would like to see Hughes go deep into this one and try and keep that really talented Northwest lineup at bay.
As that pitch drifts high for a ball, 1-2 now is the count, as this is Tucker Richmond at the plate here for the Rangers. Well, Rangers win it 5-2 in the first game of the day, as this one's going to be fouled off and it's going to get out of play. Now, I'll say this, anything that's hit to the right side of the field with the sun setting the way it is, Jeremy, is going to make things very interesting here until the sun peeks behind this tree line.
It will, and so if you're in the outfield, because obviously left field is pretty much in the shade out there. It's right center field, but especially you're right in right field right now where Lane Domino is. That's where the issues are going to be. If you can get a ball up in the air, the wind is swirling just a bit in that direction also.
As there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. I assume it's a swing and a miss because I got interrupted that time. As that was a Renaissance Bank strikeout, second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. Pretty good start for Peanut.
Really good start, obviously. Can't start any better than back-to-back strikeouts, and throws that breaking ball, which is so devastating to the back foot of the right-handers, that slider. And if you're Northwest, you're going to have to deal with that pitch. He's going to try and use the breaking pitch as his out pitch and really use it to get into a rhythm. Fastball is going to be to try to just keep hitters off balance. And so it's going to be a little bit different than maybe what we saw in the first game with Justin Medlin, who was using that fastball and had more velocity than normal. This is going to be more of a pitching backwards kind of thing against this Northwest lineup.
That ball missing. 2-1 now goes the count here, as this is Hayden Leatherwood, the left fielder, at the plate trying to extend this inning. 2 outs, nobody on here, top of the first. Breaking pitch, just missing for a ball. 3-1 now is the count. Good looking pitch, but just a little bit too up for the umpire's liking.
Yeah, got that pitch elevated, and you want to keep the ball down against Leatherwood, one of the better hitters in the country.
And misses there, so that's going to be a walk. So a 2-out walk issued to Leatherwood, and now this is going to bring up, who you got coming up? Tanner Booth. Thought I wrote that name backwards.
Did you write Booth Tanner?
I did, and I knew that was quite the unique name. So, yeah, that headache is not going away, and it's making me cross-eyed apparently. So this will be the DH coming up with 2 outs and a runner over at first base. That was a 2-out walk as that pitch missing low for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. Lights are on here at Crescent Field, and Jeremy, I know you've been here a time or two, and of course back in our TV7 days, we call some day games, but when the sun goes down and the lights come on here at Roy Crescent Field, it's a very special place.
It is, and last time you and I were here, we did a ball game. That deck was down the left field line,
yes.
And of course not there now, and it's a cold, blustery day in February, and so a little bit better here in the middle of April, but boy, the Indians need to really get off to a good start here.
There's a fastball, and it's caught by Bunch. Great play defensively over there by Russell Bunch. Let's take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay, as that's going to be a line out to the third baseman. And that will end the inning. No runs, so no hits, and no errors. 1 left on base. As we'll take a timeout, come back with the bottom half of the inning right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back as we move to the bottom of the first inning. Game 2 between ICC and Northwest. Jeremy, tell us about the starting pitcher here for the Rangers.
Jake Tyrone, number 20, making his 8th appearance, all starts. He's 2-0 on the year with a 3 ERA, 33 innings pitched, 31 hits, 19 runs, 11 earned, 21 walks, 41 strikeouts. So a guy that's had really good command on the year, a high strikeout guy. You're going to see some velocity from that left side. And going to be really interesting to match up with all those right-handed hitters for ICC 1 through 9 today. And can they hit the fastball? We saw the tailing fastball into those right-handed hitters in the first game from Trent Bunting. How do they handle what Tyrone's going to do from the left side?
Well, this is going to be Kyle Krieger to lead off the Indians here. Is that pitch missing low for a ball? Krieger, Lancaster, and Sedale due up here for the Indians. Bottom of the first inning, game 2. It's that pitch. That one looked pretty good, but missed for ball 2.
Yeah, up a little bit, trying to start on the outside corner and go away, but just missed his spot on the first 2 pitches, and a really good job by Kyle Krieger to take.
And that one missing outside as well. 3-0 is the count. Game 2 scheduled for 7 innings here. So you want to be sure and stick around for this one. ICC dropped the first game of the day. As that pitch in there for a strike. Good job that time by Tyrone to battle back and make the count go 3-1 as Krieger taking the whole way that time.
Yeah, not a surprise there. Wouldn't shock me if he's taking here either. Just trying to be on base and get into that Northwest bullpen. Does hack away, though, and that's kind of what I was talking about right there. You know, fastball middle in to the righties, and Northwest pitching has done a pretty good job with that all day. There have been some hits certainly by the Indians, but for the most part, that's been really where Northwest has gotten most of their outs against this predominantly right-handed order.
And that pitch just a bit outside, and that'll be ball 4. So a leadoff walk issued to Kyle Krieger. So the Indians get the leadoff batter on, and now this is going to bring up Jackson Lancaster. No outs and a runner at first.
20th walk drawn of the season by Kyle Krieger. And this is what you have to do if you're ICC. You've got to start fast. You want to get Hughes a lead early and let him settle in. But offensively, you need to get going. You had 8 hits in the last game, but only 2 runs, and left a lot of runners on base. Didn't get that big hit like we've seen, and they need a good start early.
This pitch popped up in foul territory. Third baseman will go over and squeeze it for the out. So trying to jump on some early pitches are the Indians, and Lancaster just couldn't quite find that one. Out number 1.
Yeah, popped it up, and I think he was looking for the big fastball middle in, and instead got the breaking ball and just was way out in front of it. Good job to come with that breaking pitch and try to mix it up a little bit if you're Tyrone.
We're going to take a look at some Renaissance Bank scoreboard updates throughout the league here in a moment. There's 1 out and a runner over at first in Kyle Krieger. There's going to be a toss over to first. Gulf Coast defeated Baton Rouge 14-2. Holmes picked up a 4-1 win over Mississippi Delta. That was at Delta. Pearl River at Southwest, they win 11-2. As that pitch drifting outside for a ball. Northeast defeats Meridian 10-4. Northwest over ICC, obviously 5-2 in the first game of the day. Kahoma defeats East Mississippi 10-3. East Central takes care of Hines 13-3 in 5 innings. Jones defeats Colin, and Holmes, well, they sweep Delta as they pick up a 7-3 win in the first game of the day. When did they start those games? Did they start them at 8 o'clock this morning?
Yeah, well, of course, ours a little bit later in the afternoon, 3 o'clock first game. We had a really good pace to that first one at about 2.5 hours for a 9-inning game. Really incredible.
Can't beat that.
No, and that's when it slowed down in the last inning or two. We would have gotten out of here in sort of warp speed. It helped pitchers are throwing strikes, not a lot of walks. Everything's put into play, and you get going.
So now 1-1 is the count after the throw over to first. LeBryant Siddell at the plate. Breaking pitch, and it's going to miss low. 2-1 now is the count. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. Where'd you go? So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. Siddell fouls this one back. And now 2-2 is the count.
I thought we might see a hit and run. Again, the 2 things we've talked about coming in offensively, both of these teams really like to press the issue and steal, but neither one did a whole lot in that first game despite all the base runners. And the other thing, too, is these catchers, can they control the running game if it's tried? And the answer to that in the first game was definitely yes. Both pitchers did a pretty solid job holding runners on as well.
Well, Siddell jumped out of the way of that one. The count now goes 3-2 here with 1 out and a runner over at first base. So waiting the 3-2 offering here to LeBryant Siddell. Krieger reached on a walk. Siddell hammers one, and it's going to get past the diving third baseman. And that's going to go for a hit.
Well, a good piece of hitting there by LeBryant Siddell. Did a good job working the count full and then got a fastball middle in. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just tried to put it in play, found the hole left side, and now the Indians have it first and second with 1 out, and this is what they needed to do. They needed to get a 0 from Hughes at the top of the first. Mission accomplished. Now they need to get off to a good start offensively. We talked about all the runs they've scored lately, and especially yesterday at East Central. And today, bats just could not come through with the timely hits, even though looking at 8 in the first game, and then you get 2 there, and now Justin Medlin ends up getting plunked in the back. And so you're in a good spot where you've got the bases loaded now, and this is exactly the start that Coach Collier and his staff wanted.
So bases loaded here. Number 13, Brett. And now this will be Brett Coker coming to the plate, the shortstop here for the Indians. So ICC, if they can get that merry-go-round spinning here early, it would be huge. Bases loaded with 1 out. Rangers, however, trying to find a way out of this inning with no damage, maybe even minimum damage done.
Well, and Coker, we talked about him, and I know you've watched him play all season. Terrific in both the field and at the plate, but struggled in that first game. 2 errors defensively. Didn't have his best game offensively, and he wants to make up for that. And we're going to see a really quick meeting on the mound. And, boy, Coach Carson not exactly thrilled with Jake Tyrone And that was quick and to the point as he comes back to the dugout.
Yeah, it's one of those, if I'm him, I look up and I see him marching at me that way, you're just like, oh, boy, here we go.
Yeah, you're just hoping that this one is a short and sweet kind of meeting, and it was. That wasn't about mechanics or anything else. That was, look, we got to have you right here. You can't be messing around. You got to throw strikes, and you got to be able to give us a chance out there to try to get out of this.
So 1-0 is the count here to Brett Coker after Madison Haley almost kills herself walking behind us. Grace is not her middle name. So big-time situation here for the Indians. 1 out, bases loaded. Coker at the plate. Coker looks at that breaking pitch, and I tell you what, Tyrone is just struggling to find the zone. And Jeremy, you kind of looked over, or once after that pitch was thrown, he looked over at the dugout, and you can tell it's all mental right now.
It is, and he's a guy that's done a really good job this year with his command. He's got 41 strikeouts, 21 walks, so almost a 2-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio, but command has been an issue early.
There's a deep fly ball to the right side of the field. That will score a run for the Indians. The run is cut off. And ICC scores it. Jeremy, I don't know if they don't cut that run off, that might have been a bang-bang play.
Yeah, I think if you're Ben Van Cleve, I think he thought that this was going to be a situation where because the throw was so low, it wasn't going to bounce there in time. But if he lets that go, we've got ourselves a real issue at the plate. But the Indians are able to capitalize. They do get the RBI. Good piece of hitting to just serve it into right field. So Coker does his job. And now you've got a chance for a second run to come in. If you can get that big hit, delaying Domino at the plate, was the one thing they were missing in the first game.
So now this is going to be Domino, who's batting in the 6th spot, playing in right field. 2 outs, runners on the corners here for the Indians. That pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Domino. Remember, if you're away from your computer or even your radio when we have the broadcast going there, you can keep up with all the action by following us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. That's at Let's Go ICC, actually on all social media platforms. That pitch drifts high, and 2-0 now is the count. Well, the Indians, you be extremely patient at the plate right now.
You do. I mean, you let him hang himself. I mean, he's not throwing strike one. You get behind 2-0, get behind 3-1. And you just go up there and force him to labor. And so far, he just hasn't been able to find the strike zone consistently. He's not commanding any one pitch. We thought perhaps we would see that with the breaking pitch early in this inning, but he just hasn't been able to do that. And ICC's done a good job of just being patient, not trying to press the issue.
3-0 is the count, 2 outs. And that pitch taking the whole way in there for a strike. 3-1 now goes the count here to Domino. If Domino were to reach, it would be Jacob Hall, the DH, up next for the Indians.
So I understand Lane's had a good year. I think you might just want to press your luck and see if you can get him to draw ball 4.
And he does. So the bases will be loaded once again here for the Indians. Second walk of the inning here for Tyrone. And despite the strugglings to start with right now, Jeremy, it's only a 1-0 contest, 1 out away from getting out of this situation.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it is that you're right. If he does make one good pitch, he surrenders 1 run. And if you're ICC, even though you lead 1-0 and you're glad you scored, you feel like that you came away with a little bit of a loss in this situation. That's what the Indians need, is a base hit to get a couple of runs in, get that swagger back, and get the offense rolling again.
So bases loaded here for the Indians. That pitch across for a strike here to Jacob Hall.
Hall hitting .313 on the season, 11 runs batted in.
So 0-1 is the count. There's 2 outs. Bases full of Indians. As that pitch outside. 1-1 now is the count.
But everything's been away too. We thought that the scouting report was going to try to pitch in. It's where the Indians really struggled in that first game, but he's tried to go away to pretty much every single right-handed hitter, and he just hasn't been able to find that command, and he's constantly falling behind. The Indians at this point, if you're right-handed, I would say you could basically cut off the inner third of the plate right now, look middle away, try to go the other way, because Tyrone right now is not showing you an ability. He wants to come inside.
That pitch hangs up and outside, 2-1 now. Goes the count here on Jacob Hall, the DH. Ray Sandroni on deck for the Indians.
And then that time he was actually set up to come inside but missed his spot so badly, ended up in the left-handed batter's box, which tells you he clearly is not commanding anything at the moment.
Yeah, the Rangers have already got somebody in the bullpen, and they're sending somebody down to see if they're ready yet. 2-1 pitch coming. There's a shot deep left side. Is it got enough? Yes, it does! Jacob Hall sends them all around the bases, and a big-time hit there for the Indians.
First home run of the season is a grand slam against the number 11 team in the country, RBIs 12, 13, 14, and 15. There's the big hit you wanted if you're ICC to get yourself off the schneid, and boy, all of a sudden now 5-0 in this situation.
That was just a big-time hit there. Jeremy, we talked about it in the first game of the day. We talk about it again here. 2-out hitting coming in clutch for the Indians.
That's what they couldn't get in the first game, all those opportunities. But, boy, ICC just absolutely terrific with the plate discipline. Of course, you look at it, Tyrone is struggling and his command's not where it needs to be, but that was a terrific job there by Hall. Got a pitch down the middle of the plate and just absolutely hammered it over that 365 sign. And, boy, now you absolutely capitalized on those walks. You got the base hit in there as well. And
something they failed to do in the first game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the team that you've seen all year that, you and I have kept up with all year for sure. And good to see them break out of that mini slump from game one. And, boy, not sure Coach Collier could have crafted a better start than this one. That pitch across for a strike to Ray Sandroni. 2-1 now is the count here. That pitch goes high, 3-1 on the sophomore catcher out of Tupelo. Hitting .324 on the season, no home runs, 13 runs batted in. Typically the game two catcher in these doubleheaders in the midweek, and he's been terrific. And even that pitch right there is borderline just to get it to 3-2. And again, everything is away. He doesn't have as much confidence to pitch inside against those right-handed hitters. So the 3-2 pitch coming. Sandroni pops one. This was going to hang up, though. Actually, it's going back to the track, and it will be squeezed for out number 3. But the Indians get it done. They score 5 runs on 2 hits. No errors and nobody left on base. It was a grand slam from Jacob Hall. The difference in the contest so far, 5-0 is your score. We'll take a break and hear a word from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. 5-0 is your score. The Indians plate 5 in the bottom of the first inning. A grand slam by Jacob Hall. A big-time play there for the Indians. And now ICC out to a good start. Jeremy, that's what you need after dropping a tough game like they did in the first game of the day. You need to come out with some positive notes. And there's a shot. It's deep to the right side, and this one's going to be out of the ballpark. That was Hammer Franks. A big answer there for the Rangers. First pitch he sees, and he parks it out in right field.
One home run deserves another. Unfortunately for Northwest, that one a solo variety. ICC's came with the grand slam, the 8th home run of the year for Franks, which leads the Rangers. 38th home run as a team, their second of the day. And even though that 5 runs is up there, look, Northwest is not going to go away. They're a terrific offensive team. They've got a lot of pop. And Hughes is going to have to be very good throughout this contest to keep Northwest at bay. And, they're certainly not going to be satisfied just with splitting. They know that they've got a chance to really get a grip on winning the league if they can get a win in Game 2.
That pitch missing low. 1-1 now is the count after the first pitch was fouled off. And that one missing as well. 2-1 now is the count. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs. This pitch popped up. Right fielder Lane Domino is going to go back and basically take a couple of steps, then come up for the first out of the inning there. So good job by Peanut to come back and get that first out.
It fell behind 2-1 to Van Cleve, who hit a monster home run in the top of the ninth inning in Game 1, and you got away with a pitch in which Van Cleve just got way underneath it. But you're right, he's going to have to pitch well. Good sign for him to come back, and what you want to see out of him is just to get into a rhythm. Northwest, you can tell they're being very aggressive at the plate at this point. They're sitting on that fastball. He's going to have to start mixing in some pitches and also mix in locations. Everything to this point has been to the inside of the lefty, which is where Franks hammered it, and to the outside of the righties.
So nothing but a long strike there. 0-1 now is the count. Oh, nice location. That one low. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
There's the breaking ball down and into the righties, and Northwest has had some trouble with that today. Just swinging right over the top of it. Really good pitch there by Hughes.
Curveball missing low and outside. 1-2 now is the count. Not a bad spot to miss.
No, if you're going to miss, obviously you want to keep that breaking ball down and try to keep them off balance. And that's obviously been the goal from day one.
And this was going to be to the gap for extra bases, and the Rangers trying to make a little bit of rally of their own here in the top of the second. They've already scored 1, and that's going to be a 1-out double off the bat of Mills. And now this will bring up Garrett Riggs.
Well, the disappointing thing about that is it's a 1-2 pitch, and he just left it up. Missed his spot and left it up, a mistake pitch, and obviously Mills able to hammer it into that left center field gap. And as we talked about, this Northwest lineup maybe not as polished from a hitting standpoint, 1 through 9 is ICC, but they've got a little more explosiveness, a little more pop in the bat. And they have hit some hard balls off of Hughes early.
So now this will be Riggs, the catcher here. Runner at second. That pitch just outside for a ball. Looked pretty good from our angle.
Yeah, I thought it caught the outside corner, and so did Santroni.
Yeah, Ray tried to frame it up a little bit, looked back at the umpire, asked where it was just to kind of drive his point home. 1-0 now is the count. 1 out, a runner at second. 5-1 is the score. Foul ball right back at us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Remember, you can find out how to contribute to Itawamba Community College by visiting iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu. So 1-1 is the count. Indy is looking for the second out of the inning here to see if they can get out of this inning with minimum damage, but the Rangers want to rally in this one. Waiting the 1-1 pitch here from Hughes. This one fouled back and out of play.
Much better that time. The breaking ball comes in. Hughes able to hit his spot. And Garrett Riggs very late on that. Now you're ahead again, 1-2. Got to start thinking strikeout right here. You don't want to allow him to advance the runner. Certainly don't want to make a mistake and allow him to get a base hit.
So waiting the 1-2 pitch here with the runner at second. This one popped up right side. Right fielder's going to go back and over. It's going to be a little bit of trouble as he goes into the sunlight. And now they're going to try to tag the runner from second. And the throw is going to be up, and it's going to get away, and it's going to allow the run to score again. Second time today that an error allows the run to score. And I understand you want to try to get the runner out, but in that situation, You just got to bite it and just relay it in.
Hit your cutoff man. I mean, I understand Domino's got a terrific arm. We saw it in the first game, and I think if it doesn't hit the runner, it ends up getting the runner out at third base. That time the throw was wildly off target. Had enough on it, but I think in this situation, top of the second inning, what you want to do, you get the second out, they get the runner over, that's okay. Hit your cutoff man, live to fight another batter. Instead, that error ends up giving Northwest their second run of the inning, and they're just creeping back into it with a long way to go.
That pitch missing high and outside. 2-0 now goes the count here as this is number 9 batter, Skinner, playing in center field. He had some pretty good timely hits in the first game of the day, and he's got a lot of speed to burn. This pitch fouled back, and 2-1 now goes the count.
Yeah, he's had a really good day, and he came in hitting .359, scored a run, got the big hit. Made it 4-2 back in the top of the 8th inning in game 1.
So that pitch missing low, 2-1 now is the count here to Skinner. Indians trying to get out of this inning. Stop some of the bleeding. 5-2 is the score. And it hit him.
Well, I think it would have been ball 4
actually,
anyway.
Yeah, ball 4 because actually it was ball 4 because they didn't have the count right on the board, so it will be a walk instead of hitting him.
But now all of a sudden you've got Northwest back to the top of the order. So you're going to see Leggett, who's already seen Hughes once, going to come around in the top of the second. And in a 7-inning game, as many times as you can get the lineup to turn over, that's a really, really critical thing for your offense.
Looks like the Indians are going to start to get somebody loose over there, as there's going to be a hard hit, and it's going to go out to the left field, and the Rangers are just dialed in this inning here. Another hit for Northwest.
Oh, a terrific job there by Tanner Leggett. Waits back on the breaking ball, comes middle in, and just slaps it into left field. And now you bring the tying run to the plate. So it was a 5-run inning for ICC, turns into 2 runs for Northwest in the top of the second. And I think Coach Collier is going to go out and have a conversation, and we may already see a pitching change. We will, I think, perhaps.
Yeah, so Bunch looks like he's going to toss this one out to center field to Jackson Lancaster. Let's take a break and come back and tell you what goes on here. Let's hear from Sonic. Back with more right after this.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. Like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in!
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
Well, no change made for the Indians here. I think Coach Collier wanted to come out and try to just buy a little bit of time as they threw the ball out to center field to maybe get Jackson Lancaster loose. So ICC trying to get out of this inning with minimum damage done. They've already given up 2 runs. The Rangers, however, want to get this thing going here to see if they can trim into this lead. Breaking pitch missing for a ball. This is Tucker Richmond at the plate. He struck out swinging. A very good start to the contest for Hughes, but has been roughed up so far here in the second. And that pitch at the knees, but called a strike.
But big pitch there, had some really nice movement. Richmond gave up on it about halfway there. He stays with it. He's got a fastball ultimately down the middle, but good job by Hughes to get that pitch to move and ultimately end up where you want it.
And there's going to be a hit out to the right side. They're going to ask the run to score from second. The throw is in time. Let's take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay.
Boy, Domino with an absolute cannon, but Adam, I don't think he got him.
The tag was there on the replay. So Kevin's saying safe by a mile. Let's look at it again here.
It looked like he got underneath the tag from the naked eye here. See, that's what I'm saying. The sweeping tag, I wasn't sure that he actually did tag him, and I think that's what Coach Carson is arguing. It's a phenomenal throw by Domino, a terrific throw. I mean, that you won't find very few right fielders in Division I college baseball that will be able to throw the ball with that much accuracy. And it's a huge play in the game because instead of it being 5-3 with a tying run and scoring position, you get the third out of the inning and you limit the damage. But boy, what a huge, huge play by Domino.
We'll take a break and be back with the bottom of the second. 5-2, ICC with the lead.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Diffie, if you're watching, you missed mine and Kevin's argument between the innings, so we kept it off the air this time. Jeremy, new pitcher of the game here for the Rangers.
Number 9, Jackson Smith, making his 12th appearance of the season. 1-1 on the year, 5.68 ERA. 12 2/3 innings pitched, 16 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, 4 walks, 16 strikeouts, and he's given up a home run on the season. And regardless of whether or not, I thought, you and I were talking about it during the break too, I thought that the throw, first of all, was unbelievable. Yeah. An amazing throw by Domino, and you knew he wanted to make up for that error earlier in the inning. It was a strike to home plate. I just thought that Skinner got underneath there because I thought Sandroni, when he caught it, I thought when he tried to sweep the tag, I didn't think he got him, but we looked at the replay.
He drug the ground when he's tagged.
And he did, and so he most likely ended up tagging him as he slid in versus trying to tag him as he went by. And such a huge play. It could be a big turning point because, as we talked about, that was looking like 5-3. You're going to have 2 runners in scoring position, and Hughes gave up 4 hits in that inning and really struggled with his command, but Indians able to get the huge play and keep some momentum here in the bottom of the second.
Well, that was a good-looking pitch there. I thought was going to be called for strike 3, as this is, you say, Jackson Smith?
That's correct.
Of course, a salute to Ryan Whittington, as he's kind of a Dan Quisenberry-type thrower. As this sidearm delivery swung on and missed for strike 3. Really going to have to readjust now if you're ICC because you've got somebody that was coming at 3/4 over the top. Now this dude right here dragging knuckles.
Yeah, he is. And obviously going to be tough, especially on those righties, because it's going to once again be into them. Going to have some late run to it. A lot of pitches are going to start out middle of the plate, and by the time they end up, they're going to be either on the very inside of the plate or outside. Or excuse me, I should say inside. And so we'll see how the Indians can handle that. But, Smith, usually a middle relief or setup guy, doesn't typically come in this early. But I think Northwest, because of the way they hit the ball in the second inning, are thinking, hey, look, we're in this thing now.
Yep.
Now we're going to go and see if we can get greedy.
So now the count goes 1-1 here to Kyle Krieger, who walked and scored a run. Is that pitch missing outside? Jeremy, just talk about as a batter, how do you work on adjusting this? Of course, you got to really dial in when you're not at the plate.
Well, you understand, too, that if you're a right-handed hitter, he wants to come in. And so understand a lot of times as well that pitch is going to be on the inside corner and not really will be a strike. But there are times when you get him to force a pitch right over the heart of the plate. And Krieger hit it well. Unfortunately, just hit it right to Skinner in center field. It's a good advantage. If you'll take that approach there by Krieger, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, great play out there in center field by Skinner as he showed off his speed out there to make that look routine.
Number 10, Jackson.
So now with 2 outs in the inning, this is going to be Jackson Lancaster coming to the plate. Lancaster popped up in foul territory and was retired by the third baseman at his first at bat. Swings of the first pitch he sees. This was going back. Does it have enough room? No, it just into the warning track. And so nothing but a long out there. So a nice job by Jackson coming in and getting that 3-up, 3-down inning as we've played 2 here in Fulton. 5-2 is your score. Don't go anywhere, folks. This one's going to get exciting. We'll take a break and be back with more right here on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter Hughes staying on the heel here for the Indians. ICC was able to get out of that top of the second with minimum damage done. That it was a 3-up, 3-down bottom half of the inning for the Rangers. And so now Hunter Hughes, also known as Peanut, going to try to come in and see if he can fare a little bit better than he did the previous inning as a fastball locating for a strike.
Well, and you talked about in the break giving up those 4 hits, and Northwest was really dialed in, and you understand that he's going to have to – he needs to eat up some innings. It would help. But I don't think Coach Collier has too much of an issue going to that bullpen early if needed.
There's a pitch fouled off, and it's going to go for strike 2. 1-2 is the count. So Hughes trying to battle back here, see if he can return serve with a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the top of the 3rd inning. Game 2 scheduled for 7, as always, here in conference play. So that pitch missing low and outside for a ball, leaves the count now at 2-2.
Not a surprise. Everything has been away from Leatherwood, the lefty. Typically you get these lefty-on-lefty matchups. You want to go to the outside corner.
And Hughes thought that was strike 3. The umpire said just a little bit too low for his liking, and I agree.
Yeah, I thought just a tad bit low. And perhaps, quite frankly, if Hughes pitching maybe a little bit better, he'd get that call. But borderline, probably not going to get the benefit of the doubt at this point.
And then loses him as he misses that pitch outside for a ball. And we see the Indians do have somebody warming up in the bullpen. And, Jeremy, you got to think if the Rangers kind of duplicate what we saw the previous inning, we might see a short evening here for Hughes.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that Hughes came back out. I mean, the Rangers were really teeing off on him the last inning and was fortunate to get out of it because of a phenomenal play by his right fielder. And you look at everything now, boy, they are attacking in the zone. There's no timid swing that we have seen lately. They are really confident at the plate. And I know you want to eat some innings up, but you can't wait too long because you got to have this one if you're ICC.
Curveball that hangs up that time. 1-1 now is the count. There's no outs. And a runner over at first. That's Leatherwood. He's reached on a walk for the 2nd time here in game 2. So waiting the 1-1 offering. Fastball popped up. This one could stay in play. Medlin giving chase. Can he get to it? And no, he does not. Krieger coming in, trying to make the play. Just too much momentum carrying him through the ball, and a break there for the Rangers.
Yeah, it's a really tough play. I thought Domino would have had the best chance to come in, but Krieger did a good job to go out and just overran it, as you said. And a little disappointing there. Big break for the Rangers. Would have been a terrific catch because that's not a very easy play.
So 1-2 is the count here on Booth. And swing and a miss for strike 3.
Well, that's a big-time strikeout there by Hunter Hughes to come back with a 1-2 pitch. It's that fastball with some really late movement. Just moves sort of side to side as it gets to ends up right over the heart of the plate. But it moves so much on its path that it keeps hitters off balance. It's a big strikeout there for Hughes.
Franks takes a healthy chop at that one, comes up empty for strike 1. That strikeout brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com. 0-1 is the count here to Franks. He had a solo home run. Part of that 2-run inning is that pitch missing outside. 1-1 now is the count. Well, the scoreboard put it up as a strike. That was a ball. And that pitch missing low. 2-1 now goes the count. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy brings this action here on the ICC Sports Network. Kevin Maloney, our statistician, doing a great job as always whenever he comes over and does stuff with us. As this one fouled right back, and that time Troy was not paying attention. If it would have been a foul ball and he would have been looking up, actually, instead of looking at his phone, he probably would have jumped. He's not paying me any attention either. He's checked out. Coach Hal, a good buddy and a good friend of the ICC family as well. 2-2 is the count with one out and a runner over at first base. Frank's at the plate. Runner goes. Throw down is going to be in time.
Well, you get a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that's exactly what the Indians need. Boy, the borderline pitch, and Franks goes down swinging, and then a terrific throw down to second base by Sandrone. These catchers have done a good job controlling the running game. That was a big key coming into today's action.
And with that double play, let's take a look at, let's hear from Little Caesars, as we'll be back with more. ICC leads at 5-2.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6.
Pizza.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula.
Jalapeno.
No way. Avocados, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back to action at Little Caesars double play. Strike him out, throw him out, ending the third inning for an unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning. And for the Indians, it'll be LeBryant Siddell, Justin Medlin, and Brett Coker due up here. ICC leading at 5-2. A grand slam off the bat of Jacob Hall, the difference in the game right now, as this is going to be a foul ball for strike one here to LeBryant Siddell.
Yeah, and if you're Jackson Smith, Northwest right now, your job is pretty simple. You need to keep ICC exactly where they are. There's a bunch of time left. You've got 12 outs to work with. And, Hughes has been erratic to say the least. They've gotten some hard-hit balls off of him as well. So if they can keep ICC at 5 runs, they feel like they've got a chance. Of course, the Indians want to push the envelope and get a couple of extra runs before maybe having to dip into that bullpen.
This pitch popped up high in the air, but it's going to get out of play. It will stay at 0-2. Remind you, our next broadcast here on the Red Channel will be tomorrow as number 1 Jones College comes to town to take on ICC on their Breast Cancer Awareness Day. You can join us there. Game 1 starting at 3 o'clock here on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Red Channel. 0-2 is the count here to LeBryant Siddell. Siddell pops this one up and back, and it's going to stay close enough to the crowd. Actually, it just misses to the right side of the grandstands. That could have been a bad situation because there's a lot of fans over there, and I don't know that a few of them saw it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of them either were interested in trying to make a play for that at all. It was fortunately not the hardest hit, but definitely not paying attention. It can hurt nonetheless. It's a really good at-bat by LeBryant Siddell. 0-2, but he's making Jackson Smith work, and everything in the strike zone or close to it, he's at least gotten something on it. Just try and frustrate Smith and see if you can battle back and get yourself back in the at-bat.
0-2 is the count here to Siddell. This pitch fouled off, and it's going to get out of play, and Fallapalooza continues here. No outs is Siddell leading us off. It's going to be Justin Medlin and Brett Coker in behind him, trying to spark the bats for the Indians. 5-2, ICC with the lead. Got to find a way to win the battle here if you're LB. Ranger fans want to see if they can get a strikeout here. Siddell rips one, and that's going to be a foul ball.
Just a terrific at-bat. Regardless of what happens, this is exactly what you want to do at the plate, especially if you're facing a guy with a 3/4 arm angle, kind of a submariner. You understand the ball's going to have a downward tint to it, so you just foul pitches away, try to see it up, hopefully makes a mistake.
There's a hard hit ball. It's going to be to the shortstop. Gloves it cleanly. Throw over is going to be in time for the putout. So he does retire Sedale 6-3. But Jeremy, as you said, was stood in there for a while and gave an opportunity for some guys to see some more pitches.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you try to frustrate pitchers as much as you can. And I can assure you he'll remember that the next time he sees Sedale come to the plate. Hey, look, this guy fouled off a bunch of pitches. I can't mess around with him. And that's where you may get a pitcher to make a mistake, and Sedale could capitalize on it. So a really good at bat, even though it was a ground out.
So now this is going to be Justin Medlin. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Listen to that pitch on the outside corner for a strike. I tell you what, Smith is just really confused. I don't know what I was trying to say before that, but confused these ICC batters.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of just, like I said, that arm angle is obviously confusing. You don't see that a lot. It was a nice play there by Van Cleve, just because the ball took a really funny hop late and it could have kicked up on him. But you don't see it a lot, that three-quarters arm angle, even at this level. So it's going to take batters a time or two to see it before they get a good feel. That's why that at bat by Sedale is so important, because guys on deck and guys, in the dugout can at least get an idea and see it move and get a report from Sedale.
And so now with 2 outs, this pitch fouled back off the netting for strike 1. This is Brett Coker. Coker had a sacrifice fly out to right field to drive in a run. That was the first run of the game when Kyle Krieger scored. And then it was a grand slam off the bat of Jacob Hall. As there's a grounder, second baseman going to have to charge up on it. Does, gets it cleanly, throws over in time for the out, 4-3 to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down, go the Indians in the bottom of the third. We played 3 and ICC leads at 5-2, but this game, Jeremy, just doesn't feel like it's a 5-2 contest. It feels like it's a one-run game right now.
Yeah, Northwest has done a good job battling back, and they've sort of seized momentum a little bit. And obviously, the more pressure they feel like can put on Hughes, the better, and he's going to be back out for his 4th inning of work.
We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift now to the top of the 4th inning. 5-2, ICC with the lead here in Game 2, trying to earn a split with the Rangers this evening. It was a 5-2 decision in the first game of the day. The Rangers able to battle back late in that one to find a way to win it there. So the Indians trying to earn the split here. That pitch missing low. 2-0 now is the count. Hughes still on the heel here, but the Indians do have some guys getting loose in the bullpen. So you got to think if Hughes kind of runs into a little bit of trouble here as that pitch finds the zone for a strike. 2-1 now is the count.
Yeah, 58 pitches so far, just 31 of them for strikes. Gives you an idea of his command struggles.
As this pitch is popped up, and it's going to be caught in shallow center field by the shortstop. And that's the thing. He's struggled, but he has, for the most part, pitched around a little bit of trouble today.
He's pitched around a lot of it, you're right, and, of course, got some help from his defense. Coker with a really nice play. That was very difficult. I thought off the bat that might fall in front of Lancaster because he's playing so deep. Van Cleve with, obvious home run power. He's got 7 home runs on the season. It's a 2-1 pitch on the inside, too, and did a good job just to jam him. And, boy, Hughes may be looking at his second out of the inning.
This one popped up, and Krieger drifts back to shallow right to get the out. Hey, let's give credit where credit's due. We talked about him getting roughed up there in the second inning. He's calmed down. He hasn't panicked.
He is not, and that's really what you've got to have if you're Coach Collier in the Indians. You've got to have your entire pitching staff be confident, and you're going to have to pitch through some adversity, and certainly Hughes has done that to this point. And, boy, a pitch away from putting up his third 0 in 4 innings, and when you've only got a 7-inning game and you've already got a 3-run lead, that's a really big advantage.
That pitch finds the corner of the plate for a strike. This one swung on and missed, so now you're starting to see Peanut back in his groove here that he started the game with. Quickly hitting the count now 0-2.
You can tell he really wants to get going. He caught it, was set, looking to get his sign. He's in a rhythm, or at least he feels like he is now.
And there's looking at strike 3, a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there to end the inning. The 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Hunter Hughes, and that was a very, very, very quick top of the 4th inning. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom half of the inning. ICC trying to get the bats fired up here. They lead it 5-2 here in Game 2 over the Rangers.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. It's like real comfort food.
Trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in!
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen. ICC softball moves up 3 spots to number 12 in the latest NJCAA rankings that came out today. ICC, they were tied for 4th last week, stayed in sole possession of 4th this week. So ICC and ICC softball doing what they normally do, 2 of the best teams in the country.
Yeah, you're looking at number 12 in the country, but 4th in the state, which ought to give you an idea of just exactly what you're looking at with softball in this state. And, of course, hosting number 1, Jones, tomorrow. You and I did the playoffs last year, a team that, was ranked in the top 5 all year, and, just doing it again as they seem to do year after year.
That game will be coming your way with the First American National Bank opening pitch at 3 o'clock here on the Red Channel tomorrow afternoon here in Fulton. Lane Domino will start us off here, and that pitch a beauty across for a strike. ICC fans did not like it, but, yeah, that was just a good pitch.
It was, and well located. The spot is there.
So time is taken here by Domino, and the umpire grants it as they're trying to step out here. Maybe just try to get Smith out of his rhythm. And Smith has done a good job so far since he's come into the contest and have kept the Indians' bats quiet for the most part. And that one's going to pop up in. They're going to say Domino staying is said it did not hit him. And so Coach Collier's going to come down and Coach Collier wanting to come down and talk to him. Said the umpire, he didn't like the fact that the umpire kind of ripped his mask off when he turned around to come talk to him. And Rick, he's a competitive guy and gets fired up in a hurry. I think he was simply going to ask the home plate umpire to check down to the first plate umpire to see if it would have hit him that time, and that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to get much of an overturn here.
Yeah, not in this situation.
In this situation.
Especially after the way Rick crawled the infield umpire behind the plate in the first game of the day.
You're talking about 100 feet, from where the action was. I thought it ended up hitting off of the catcher's glove.
I was thinking, I thought it hit the catcher first, then bounced back and hit the
batter.
And that's what they're going to stick with, and I think that is the correct call in that situation.
At least what it looked like. We've got a pretty good view right in front of us. But if you're Domino, look, it's a 1-1 count. By this point, this is pretty much second time through the order for Jackson Smith, so everybody's at least seen him once.
Domino wants to show bunt. It's going to be a foul ball, said it. as that would have been a great opportunity there as it hit him in the box.
Yeah.
But, Domino with the speed he's got had a chance to make that one interesting.
Oh, I think if he's able to get up the baseline and that ball is bunted a little bit more towards Smith on the mound, we're probably looking at a one-out bunt single.
So 1-2 now is the count here on Domino. Domino, Hall, and Sandroni due up here for the Indians. This pitch fouled right back at us in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Visit iccms.edu for more information on how you can help contribute to Itawamba, whether it be scholarships, building funds, or more. That's the iccms.edu. Nice job fouling that one back to keep the at-bat alive. 1-2 now is the count. And this one popped up. Center fielder is going to drift back and squeeze it for the out. So a good job by Smith finding a way to win that battle.
Yeah, 1-2 pitch down and in, and boy, Domino got a lot on that. A deep fly ball to center field. No wind at this point. I think it's pretty much done at this juncture of the day. Domino got a lot on that, and if you're Smith, he does a good job keeping everything down, because when you're that submariner, if you do get the pitch up, boy, that's when you can really run into some trouble.
And this is Jacob Hall. He's the difference in the game right now. He had a grand slam in his previous at-bat. It's 5-2. One out, nobody on here for the Indians. Some of the ICC fans wanted a ball because it said Hall actually called for time.
Well, nobody on base, so there's the balk is not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's what they were yelling at him, and like he's already put his hands up for time too. So 0-1 is the count with one out. Nice location on that pitch. He's doing a great job of painting the corners inside and out right now as Smith.
Yeah, he looks to be in real rhythm at this point. And you can tell, we talked about the numbers, for him, and they're not particularly great. He's got a 5.6 ERA, but he's really commanded the strike zone. And you mentioned worked pitches in and out, and he's kept everything down, though. A lot of the outs he's recorded have been strikeouts or they've been ground ball outs. And he's got a great strikeout to walk ratio.
So 1-2 now is the count here to Hall. Got to find a way to protect the plate here. That pitch missing outside. 2-2 now goes the count. Well, I'll tell you another thing that we're not giving enough credit for is the catcher here in game two, Garrett Riggs. He had to go from a guy coming, over the top versus a guy submarine pitching in this situation. That's challenging for a catcher.
It is, and he hasn't missed a beat up to this point.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Jams him up a little bit, but the throw over is in time for the out. Nice job over at short that time by Leggett. Kind of rolled up his arm for a second, found it, tossed it over for the out.
That was a really tough play, and I thought it because he charged it and he caught it on that hop, I thought, boy, this would be a really tough play. And you're right, for a second, looked like it might fall out of his glove, but once he gathered it, made a good throw over to first base. Helps to have a big target over there, too. Nicely done by Tanner Leggett.
And now this is going to be Sandroni at the plate. Stands in and takes that pitch for a strike. Well, we talked about it for Medlin in game one, and we got to talk about it again here for Smith, not trying to kind of harp on this situation, but the fact that he is filling up the strike zone is the biggest difference in the game right now. Fair ball, and it's going to go off the chest, so that's going to be an error. E5 on the play, a two-out error as Sandroni reaches.
Yeah, Peyton Mills over there at third base. I think he thought perhaps maybe it was going to roll foul
I
at
thought
some
it was
point.
too.
It just stayed inside the third base line, and once it bounced off of his glove, that was it. He had no chance to throw all the way across the diamond. And we'll see if that two-out error ends up costing the Northwest Rangers. Indians have a chance at the bottom half to maybe try to turn this lineup over and get some runners in scoring position.
Well, that pitch drifts up high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. This is Russell Bunch at the plate, the third baseman. Struck out swinging. I believe that was the first time we saw Smith was against Bunch. There's a grounder. Shortstop's going to have to hurry. Another throw over. Man, that was just a thing of beauty. Another tough play, but Leggett makes it look easy. 6-3 to retire Bunch and end the inning. We've played 4 here in Fulton. ICC maintains its 5-2 lead. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza. And welcome back now as we shift to the top of the 5th inning. Scheduled for 7 here in Game 2. ICC with a 5-2 lead in the contest. Jeremy, it was 5 runs in the bottom of the first, a grand slam from Jacob Hall, then 2 runs, and a bang-bang play at home that the Indians got the benefit of the doubt on maybe to cut the third run down. Since then, Peanut's kind of calmed down a little bit.
He's done just a terrific job, especially the third inning, but the last inning in the fourth, he was outstanding. And you could tell he was starting to get into a rhythm. He felt pretty good. Would get rid of the ball and would get it back and go straight to his motion, ready to deliver. And so, we thought Northwest a couple of times really had him on the ropes, but he's able to been able to wiggle off.
This ball's going back, and it's going to track out of the ballpark. Just ran into one there, did Skinner, and that's going to be a solo home run to start the inning here. And, Jeremy, we talked about it, and we'll continue to talk about it. That's what the Rangers do. They have the long ball ability, and they're able to get that one out of the ballpark, 5-3 now.
40th home run of the season for Northwest, and that may be the last pitch that Hughes throws. And, of course, the old broadcaster jinx, we talked about how he's settled in. Yep. He's done a good job against Northwest, and all of a sudden the first pitch of the 5th, and now it's a 2-run game, and we're going to get a pitching change.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break and hear a word from Sonic and come back and tell you about the new pitcher here in Fulton.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. It's like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So Lancaster's going to enter the pitch. Caleb Whittle's going to go out in center field. So those are your Sonic changes here. And his first warm-up pitch was right here in your face, Jeremy. So he may not like it, but tell us about his stats.
Thank God for the net is all I can say. Lancaster making his 10th appearance of the season, all in relief. He's 0-1 with a 3.46 ERA. He's pitched 13 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 10 walks, 26 strikeouts. So he's got good command. He's a high strikeout guy. And I would imagine they're going to ask him to get him not through just the 5th, but the 6th, maybe the 7th, or go to Krieger at that point, late. But, boy, really intense now. We were just talking about Hughes being able to settle in and get into a groove and keep this Northwest offense at bay. And then the first pitch of the inning, Skinner goes to the opposite field and takes him out of the ballpark. And now, a little bit of game pressure back on the Indians.
Absolutely. As we talked about, the other change was Caleb Whittle coming in at center field. He is out of Itawamba AHS. Lancaster taking his final warm-up toss here. And so the Rangers creeping back into this one. They've done a good job of keeping the Indians' bats quiet after that 5-run first, and they've slowly chipped away at it here. So back to the top of the lineup in Leggett, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a strikeout. So waiting the first pitch here from Lancaster. Fastball across for a strike.
So now what you're going to see from Lancaster, a little bit more velocity than you saw from Hughes. Obviously both from the left side, but he won't really try to live off that breaking pitch. It's going to be a lot of the velocity, a lot of fastball. And so if you're Northwest, you go up there and you hunt it. You say, look, we'll live with the off-speed pitch if he throws it. We've got a sit dead red fastball.
That pitch missing high and inside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Lancaster getting set to deliver. This one popped back and out of play for strike 2. That's over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Visit iccms.edu. Dr. Jan Reed Bunch, Tilda Bushlawn, and Jim Ingram doing a great job for us. They're raising money for the college. This pitch popped back and out of play, and if I were to do that run through again, it's over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth, iccms.edu. So good job by Lancaster quickly coming up and getting ahead in the count 1-2, but also a good job by Leggett to foul off a couple of pitches. Ball in the dirt, gets away. Sandroni enough time, will throw it down. So that will be a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout on the play there, and a big out there for the Indians.
So it talked about the fastball. You sit on it if you're Northwest. It's 1-2, a couple of fastballs fouled back, and Lancaster comes with the off-speed, gets a swing and a miss, and a really nice play by Sandroni. I thought, well, if he doesn't come up with that and barehanded make a great throw, you could be looking at a leadoff or another runner within the strikeout, and now the tying run comes to the plate. So a really good job by Sandroni to be able to barehand that ball and get it down to first.
That first pitch up high for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. This is Richmond at the plate. Fastball inside corner. 1-1 now is the count. Richmond 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. He singled, and then the throw at home ended the second as that pitch missing high for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
Yeah, that's one of the big plays in this ball game. Lane Domino with an absolute seed from right field, and I mean threw it there on a line right to Sandroni, who was able to apply the tag. And you sit again, all fastballs so far in this one. Lancaster has thrown one breaking pitch up to this point, and that's the data, and that's the scouting report, sit on the fastball.
This one fouled back, and now the count goes full at 3-2 here on Richmond. There's one out in the inning. Leatherwood is on deck. He has actually reached twice on a pair of walks this evening, I should say. 3-2 is the count. 5-3 is the score. Pitch coming, and walks him. Well, that was a fastball that just went in a little too low that time, and a one-out walk, and now this will bring up Leatherwood.
They're really good at bat. Just fouled off a couple of pitches. You hang in the count long enough, you may get a chance to be in a hitter's count, like a 3-2 count. Obviously, you're looking at base hit or ball 4, and here's where it's pretty dangerous at this point. One of the better hitters for Northwest in a situation where he can tie it with just one swing.
And Sandroni's going to call for time and go talk to Lancaster here. May have seen something that kind of caught his eye that time. So 5-3 is the score. Rangers not going quietly into the night after a quick start to the contest by the Indians. ICC fell 5-2 in the first game of the day. Trying to find a way to battle back here and earn the split at home with the Rangers. So there's one out and a runner over at first base. And that one missing low and inside. Sandroni couldn't quite find it. It was underneath him that time. And 1-0 now is the count here to Leatherwood.
You expect to see left on left to be away and some off-speed pitches, try to get him with sweeping sliders. Leatherwood, though, really crowds the plate.
Big swing and a miss there on a fastball. 1-1 now is the count with one out and a runner over at first base.
And I think that's kind of how you got to. I think you've got to try to jam him, or you've got to try to see if you can elevate a fastball, maybe a little bit up and in, and see if you can get him to chase that. I think with the way he crowds the plate, the sweeping slider outside is not going to be your best pitch.
Snap throw down to first, not in time. Good throw by Sandroni. The tag, though, he was able to get underneath it without an issue.
Yeah, good throw, good idea, but definitely safe down there at first. And now you're behind in the count, though, 2-1. I think, again, if you're Leatherwood, you're looking right at a fastball here.
So waiting the 2-1 pitch. This one fouled back and out of play. Evens the count now at 2-2. But if you're Lancaster, you would have come in and keep the damage to a minimum here, as it was a leadoff home run for Skinner to start the inning. And that was it for Hughes. Lancaster in relief. And a great pitch that time. No, just I thought Sandroni held on to it, but it just popped out of his glove that time, and Sandroni a little upset with himself.
Yeah, I did too. That was a great pitch. He did go with that sweeping slider I talked about on the outside corner. Leatherwood got just enough of it. Sandroni couldn't quite hold on to it, but really good pitch by Lancaster.
And there's strike 3. Had a way to come back that time by Jackson. There's that curveball, and it came in there for a strike, and a big out there, second out of the inning. Second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the inning as well. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, renaissancebank.com, member FDIC.
Well, he came with the 1-2 breaking ball and barely got, or I should say, and almost got the strikeout, and then came back with it.
Runner goes. The throw is going to be more towards third base side of it. And they're going to call him out. What just happened there?
Going to call batter's interference. No question. That's what the call is. As Sandroni threw down to second base, and that's Coach Carson going to be out there again. He just stood there.
Yeah, he just stood there, and Sandroni's throw carried him into it, so
yeah, I don't.
That's a break for the Indians.
Yeah, it is, and you'll take it, though, because obviously at this point now you're looking at being just 6 outs away from a big win.
And so we'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set now to move to the bottom of the 5th inning. It was a solo home run in the bottom or top half of the inning to make it a 5-3 contest. Jeremy, your thoughts so far? We've seen both teams make some adjustments and kind of settle down after a wild start.
Well, just when you think you've got an idea about momentum, it changes instantly. Of course, the Grand Slam is the big moment in the ball game. I think you can clearly tell, though, that Northwest has put some game pressure on the Indians, but ICC has responded every single time. But they got to get some hits going. I mean, look, they haven't gotten a hit since the bottom of the 1st inning. It's been 3 straight zeros, and base runners have been pretty scarce for the Indians against Jackson Smith, who's come in and done a really good job when it looked like maybe ICC was going to break out the bats and look a little bit like they did yesterday.
Yeah, they retired 8 straight batters before Ray Sandroni reached on an error. And there's going to be a hit. Shortstop's going to make a deep play. The throw over is in time. What a beautiful play there by the shortstop.
That was incredible there by Tanner Leggett. 3rd play he's made in the last 2 innings that was just incredible. This one was hit deep in the hole. I didn't think there was a chance.
Yeah.
And he ends up sliding and then makes a strong throw. And then a good job by Ben Van Cleve to catch that on the one hop. But boy, we talk about him. You look at his average; it's 231. You say, how is he? Maybe what's the deal? How is he going to play at the next level? But you see what he does defensively, and you instantly figure that out.
Yeah, all you can do if you're Krieger is you look back at him, tip your cap, and say, "Good job, kid."
Yeah, because there's not much more you can do there. I don't know of any. There are a lot of shortstops I've seen at the D1 collegiate level that would not have been able to do that. Are you kidding?
Is there another one here? Wow.
Good heavens.
Good night.
This is some amazing shortstop play by a kid that has just continued to get shot after shot after shot sent right to him. And, boy, you even get the ICC dugout just tipping their hat to him. And there's nothing else you can do at this point. It's a situation where you're just kind of like, hey, look, just keep hitting as hard as you can. Hope it doesn't go there.
Absolutely, and ultimate sign of respect right there. The entire ICC dugout coming up and tipping their caps to that one. Talk about SEC-style play as there's a swing and a miss, as that was LeBryant Sedell. Oh, my. That's all you can say. We do our Want to Play Wednesday. If there was ever a reason to do an opposing team for Want to Play Wednesdays, those back-to-back plays as well.
Yeah, and I said, there's not a lot of D1 shortstops at the collegiate level that would make the first play he made. Yeah. There are even fewer than would have made that play right there. That was incredible because that ball was hit incredibly hard in the hole, and he just full extension and then able to glove it and then make a terrific throw back over to first base.
And here's another thing to that play, and we're just going to talk about it here. That's Jackson Lancaster. He's not slow. That's SEC speed that was getting down the baseline, too.
Yeah, he's going to be at Missouri next year. So that's that's two guys that could end up having that same situation where Leggett's playing in the field, Lancaster's the plate in the Southeastern Conference, and boy, just a terrific play there by a kid that has been terrific with the glove all day long.
That pitch across for a strike, 2-2 now is the count here on LeBryant Sedell. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning thanks to 2 beautiful plays by Tanner Leggett. Sedell, does this one have enough legs? No, I don't think so. It's going to be now tracking back in the left fielder, and that's going to do it. Well, a 3-up, 3-down inning, and a big-time salute to Tanner Leggett, who made 2 amazing plays defensively. And now the Rangers are fired up as they're greeting the shortstop as he comes off the field, rightfully so. We've played 5, and ICC leads it 5-3. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Welcome back. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy here, and Jeremy, the ballpark's still buzzing after those back-to-back plays by Tanner Leggett defensively. Wow, what can you do? And the Rangers, you need that type of stuff to see if you can fire up that dugout.
Yeah, that's something that could absolutely kind of get their mojo back going again because obviously Lancaster came in and did a good job to finish the 5th inning, and Northwest needed something to get going, and those were 2 really terrific plays. And I thought Van Cleve, the first baseman, the first one I thought he did a good job being able to scoop that one too. The second one I almost thought for a split second that he was so excited about the play that he came off the bag before he caught the ball, but he stayed on obviously long enough. But that was incredible. Because it's a ball hit deep into the 6 hole. It's different, obviously, just routine ground ball, whatever. But those are 2 really incredible plays. But that second one where he dove full extension was as good a play as you're going to see. You and I will see all year doing this, and as good a play as we're going to see with all the games we watch.
Absolutely. Well, the coach from Northwest came out and would have come out and say something. So I guess Rick wanted to see what he. Okay, so got you. So they're following up on the batter interference situation there. And so it will be Hammer Franks to start us off here. So that's what they were asking. They're making sure the batting lineup was correct. And good job by the Northwest coach to come in and make sure that he didn't just bat out of order in that situation.
Yeah, because then you're down to 6 outs anyway, and then you'd be down to 5 at that point.
Yeah.
And, and that was a big play, too, that strike him out. Or I should say that the interference, because obviously, the big strikeout there, and because that ends up ending the inning, and of course it's a cleanup hitter, and you move a little bit deeper into that lineup now.
So this is Franks. He had a solo home run in his first at bat, struck out, And there's a beautiful curveball in there for a strike. He's part of that strike him out, throw him out to end the third inning. 1-2 now is the count here. Jackson Lancaster on in relief of Hunter Hughes. So 1-2 is the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3.
Boy, that's a great job there by Lancaster. Terrific job to start the inning. And, lefty on left, he does go with the off-speed and fastball away. And, boy, Franks just could not catch up to that. And, boy, terrific job commanding his pitches there by Lancaster. And now he's going to face one of the more dangerous hitters in this lineup. But fortunately for the Indians, he's going to face Van Cleve with nobody on base.
So Van Cleve will dig in. Swings on the first pitch he sees. Hard hit ball over to the first baseman. Going to toss it underneath to Lancaster. Lancaster steps on the bag. 3-1 on the putout of Van Cleve.
Well, first pitch, and I thought you could tell that Van Cleve was just trying to sit on that fastball, but he got jammed a little bit. Ball had some late run to it from Lancaster, and those are two really big outs. And, we talk about this all the time, trying to close games, and can you have the mental toughness to do it? And, boy, Lancaster has proven so far he's certainly in that mode.
That pitch, beautiful, paints the corner for a strike. This is Peyton Mills at the plate. He doubled and scored on an error, flew out to right for the second out of the fourth inning. So 2 outs and nobody on here for the Rangers. And Lancaster that time just lost his balance. And
we saw that with Medlin last week in Louisville a couple of times. And, boy, just sometimes these left-handers, they end up maybe just slipping just a tad.
Looks like me trying to go up the steps of my house.
Post-knee surgery?
Yes, as that pitch fouled back. 0-2 is the count. That's a running joke. If you follow me on Instagram or on Twitter at Gore Sports on both those, I'll post kind of like a big 0 on there, and my caption will always be 0 days since last tripping up the steps at my house, and typically doesn't get more past 8 days. As that pitch is fouled back, 0-2 stays the count.
Good battle here. Lancaster doing a good job just filling up the strike zone, and that's what you have to do. You have to attack. And if you hit your spot, should be in good shape. And so far, he's been able to do that. Yet, at the same time, you're going to get some pitches to hit if you're Peyton Mills and this Northwest Rangers team. A lot of fastballs in the zone.
So the 0-2 pitch coming here from Lancaster. And it's swung and missed for strike 3. Actually held on to that time by Ray Sandroni in a big inning there. A 3-up, 3-down inning, a pair of Renaissance Bank strikeouts for Lancaster, and ICC takes a 5-3 lead into the bottom of the 6th. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
With the Little Caesars mobile app, you can customize an extra most bestest pizza with the most cheese, and now with the most of any toppings for the nation's best price. It's the crowning pizza achievement. And it's true what they say, it's lonely at the top. Unless you have an extra most bestest pizza, then it's a party at the top!
Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest Pizzas, the world's easiest way to outrageous amounts of toppings, starting at $6. Pizza.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Welcome back now as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. ICC with a 5-3 lead. Jeremy, let's give credit where credit is due here. Smith, he's been lights out.
Yeah, I mean, caught up in obviously, Leggett taking away those 2 hits. The Indians have not gotten a hit since the bottom of the 1st.
No.
The grand slam is the last hit the Indians have. And, so obviously credit to Jackson Smith, but the other thing, too, is the Indians haven't quite frankly put together a lot of really productive and quality at-bats. So you could count on one hand since that point, and you look up at all those zeros. And fortunately for ICC, they've gotten really good pitching and some good defense with that throw by Lane Domino to gun down, Skinner, and then obviously the batter's interference to end the 5th inning was a big play too. Need to put together some quality at bats and give Jackson Lancaster a little insurance, because a 2-run lead against a Northwest team that hits like this is not exactly safe.
Not at all. As the count 0-2 here on Justin Medlin, Smith continued to be dominant and keep the Indians' bats quiet. That pitch drifts inside. 1-2 now is the count. Matter of fact, the only base runner he has allowed on was an error that he was given up by the third baseman when Sandroni blistered one down the line. Since then, nothing for the Indians. As Medlin looks at that one just outside. Good eye on the part of Medlin. A borderline pitch not going the way of Smith. And the way he's dealing, I'm surprised that wasn't called strike 3.
Yeah, I am too. Usually you get a little bit of a leeway if you're the pitcher and you've pitched this well. That was a good pitch and really nice location on the outside corner.
There's a hard hit ball right back to the pitcher. Makes the easy play, and we'll toss it for the out. 1-3 to retire Medlin, and still Smith has given up no hits so far since coming into the game.
Yeah, and I think, obviously, too, that little sidearm has been an issue. And not everything is about numbers. But if you look at those numbers, you'd say, okay, well, he's got a 5.68 ERA, and, he's only pitched 12 2/3 innings, and he's got a good strikeout to walk ratio. But, well, the numbers, would tell you that he's somebody that can be knocked around a bit. He's given up, 10 runs, 8 earned runs in his 12.2 innings, and today he's been masterful.
Coker looks at that pitch, and it's inside for a ball. Good-looking pitch, not really, I guess, a little too far inside for the umpire's liking. 1-1 now is the count.
Yeah, tried to run it on the inside corner to Coker. Just had a little too much run.
Slow roller to the third baseman. Going to have to hurry. Can't find it out of his glove that time. And that's going to go for a hit. And finally, the Indians figure, at least Brett Coker kind of figured out the riddle that is Smith as he gets that infield single. So now this is going to be Lane Domino to the plate, 0 for 1 of the day with a walk and a run scored.
So now you're looking at a situation where Domino at the plate, got a little bit of speed over there at first base. May try to press the issue. No, Domino looked like he's going to maybe drop a bunt for a hit.
And that one called a strike. Get a few little oohs and ahs out of the ICC crowd, but I do believe it was a good call.
Yeah, I think it did catch the outside corner.
So 0-1 is the count here to Domino. Runner at first with 1 out. Snap throw over is not in time as Coker just basically lays down and puts his hand back on the base. 0-1 is the count here to Lane Domino. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 6th. ICC with a 5-3 lead here in Game 2, trying to earn a split with the Rangers. This one fouled back. And 0-2 now is the count here to Domino.
Yeah, and that's the situation too. Is you look at how much that pitch runs in, and those righties have had an issue with that all day for ICC. The Northwest pitching staff's done a good job just trying to jam them on the inside, and Smith's been better at it than any of them.
So what in the 0-2 offering here? Domino fouls this one back to keep the at-bat alive here. We'll stay at 0-2 with 1 out and a runner at first. 5-3, ICC with the lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here. Jeremy, told you when the lights go or the sun sets here, you got a pretty good little view at Crescent Field, and not too bad chilly tonight. It's a pleasant evening here. Chamber of Commerce light day all day here at Crescent Field. As there's a pitch and just missing outside, and again, I'm really surprised that wasn't called strike 3.
Yeah, I mean, with the way he's pitched, you just would assume that the home plate umpire would maybe give you that. Of course, the Indians are obviously glad that they didn't, and now you want to try to capitalize on that. But, boy, it just gives you an idea of how well Smith's pitching because he's hitting every single spot.
Runner goes. A little hit and run action going here, and it's going to drop for a base hit. They're going to try to advance the runner to third. Yes, they will. And a big-time hit there for Lane Domino.
Well, I told you thought runner on first base, you may try to get something just because you need to press the issue. It's a 1-2 count, so not the most ideal to hit and run, but it's a pitch right down the middle, and Domino just hammered it into left field. And the Indians get first and third with just one down. And now all of a sudden, you've got a chance to sack fly, an error, a pass ball, wild pitch. A lot of different ways to get that run in from third base. And at least would force Northwest to get 2 on before you bring the tying run to the plate if you can get this 6th run across.
This is Caleb Whittle coming into bat for the first time this evening. Shows bunt and tries to lay it down, looking for a squeeze play that time, and that was going to be bunted back foul. I'll tell you what, that was a great jump over at third that time. Out of Coker would have been a tough play for the Rangers to get the out.
Oh, if the bunt's down, it's a run, no question about it. I like the aggressiveness there, to say, look, let's try to get this run in any way we can. Now, squeeze is probably going to be off at this point now. Mills is playing about even with the bag at third and on the lip of the infield grass. Van Cleve is back holding the runner on. And so now, obviously, with 2 strikes, the squeeze is definitely going to be off. And if you're Smith, you're thinking this has got to be a strikeout. Got to have a strikeout, no question about it.
So 0-2 is the count here on Caleb Whittle. His first at bat of the day, trying to come in with a clutch hit here. Insurance run over at third base for the Indians. They lead at 5-3. There's one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Domino is at first. Snap throw down. It's going to get away. And that's going to allow the run to score, and Domino will head to second. Big time play there for the Indians. And Jeremy, that's what you talked about. An error or something like that could get that run in, and a big run there. ICC now leads at 6-3.
Yeah, if you're Garrett Riggs, you just hold on to it. That you don't need to make a throw down there. The chances of picking off Elaine Domino are next to nothing with how well he runs. And so a gift to the Indians, and that throw well over the head of Van Cleve. And he's not exactly a short guy. So you're thinking into a situation, that if you just keep it where it is, that strikeout right there, you get out of this, maybe keeping it where it is now. You've already given up 1 run.
Well, that insurance run being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, stop by and see Joey there on South Adams Street. And now here comes Ray Sandrone. He reached on an error back in the 4th, flew out to left to end the 1st, trying to extend the inning here with a base hit. Sandrone looks at that pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Sandrone. Well, the Indians would love to try to find a way to push across another run here to at least, at worst, put it in a situation where a grand slam could tie it. As Sandrone looks at that one across, a beautiful pitch. 1-1 now is the count.
Yeah, that hit and run, that's the difference right now in terms of this inning. You decide to be a little aggressive, push the right button. Again, and I think maybe this is obviously why it worked, because you don't normally see that on a 1-2 count.
And Sandrone pops this one up. Catcher's going to drift back, foul territory, and make the play. I thought for a second he kind of bobbled it because he caught it in a basket style, but big out there to end the inning. But the Indians do get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break. Can ICC find 3 outs and get the split here with the Rangers? We'll find out. But before we do, back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 6-3 is your score as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy, and Kevin Maloney, today's statistician here for the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on the Red Channel. Remind you, tomorrow we'll have softball as Jones comes to town, the Breast Cancer Awareness Series. We had the number 1, number 2 team in the conference tonight. We'll have the number 1, number 2 team in the conference tomorrow, battling for first place there. And big week of ICC athletics here. Of course, the baseball team scheduled to host Colin on Friday. Mother Nature may have a different idea on that one. So, Jeremy, Indians 3 outs away from closing this one out. Lancaster got to close the door on this one.
Yeah, he's been terrific since entering, but obviously, these are going to be the most pressure-packed 3 outs that he'll need. Worked with the fastball a lot, hitting his spots. Needs to continue that, and, of course, continues to have life on that fastball.
Yeah, this is Garrett Riggs at the plate. Tried to check swing on that first one. They said he committed. 0-1 now is the count here to Riggs. Riggs, Skinner, and then back to the top of the lineup in Leggett. As that pitch missing inside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. Now, if you're the Rangers, you'd like to be a little bit further down in this lineup, but 8-9-1, where do you want to be if you want to get the bats fired up here?
You want to get it obviously down to 2, 3, and 4. You get it around there. If Leatherwood bats, you've had a good inning here at Northwest, obviously, yes. and if ICC and you see him come to the plate, it's been very, very tough. But you fall behind. All fastballs up to this point. Really big pitch here. You don't want to go 3-1.
So the 2-1 offering here. Fastball fouled back. Keeps the count now at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs.
That's just a simple fastball right down the middle, and Riggs was late. I mean, he was absolutely late on it and fouled it off, back behind us. And I think if you're Lancaster, you keep going. He hasn't really gotten a good read on it yet.
This one fouled back and out of play as well. We'll stay at 2-2. Riggs 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out looking to end the 4th, flew out to right for the second out of the 2nd inning.
He wants to make up for that error that allowed the 6th run to come across in the last inning. Needs to just guard the dish and keep fouling off 2-strike pitches like that right there. Be a tough and frustrated out for Lancaster. He's battling so far. He's late on these fastballs, which is not what you like, but at least he's battling and fouling pitches off and staying alive up there because they need him to be a base runner, no doubt about it.
2-2 is the count here on Riggs, who's leading us off in the top of the 7th. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there, as that is the 5th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game here for Lancaster. He's come in and dealt the ball well.
Been terrific, and nothing fancy about it. Just a fastball that was a little bit elevated and towards the middle to inner part of the plate, and Riggs could not keep up with it. Really big-time pitch and a huge out to start the 7th.
There's a strike to Skinner, who had that solo home run to start the 5th inning. Indians were able to get that run back after an error in the bottom of the 6th. 6-3 is your score, top of the 7th. Breaking pitch that's a little bit too inside and fell off the table a bit too soon. 1-1 now is the count.
I think if Sandroni is able to catch that, he might be able to garner strike 2. I'm not sure about it, but one of the few breaking balls we've seen Lancaster toss since coming in.
Hard hit ground ball, and it's snagged over there at first base, and not going to be able to get there in time, though. Heck of an effort on the part of Medlin, but you got a guy like Skinner that's quick as a hiccup, able to leg that one out.
Yeah, he can absolutely fly. It was a terrific play by Medlin because I thought off the bat it was going to be a base hit into right field, and so when he got his glove on it, thought maybe he had a chance, but Lancaster couldn't get over there, didn't beat Skinner, and once it became a foot race between Medlin and Skinner, it was going to be tough for Medlin to win it. So a hard hit ball and a base runner for the Rangers.
So that goes for a single. Back to the top of the lineup now for Leggett. As that pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here on Leggett. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a pair of strikeouts and a single.
Yeah, we talked about his batting average not being where you want it necessarily, but boy, has he been good. Obviously in the field, handles the bat fairly well. He's got a .354 on base percentage, and they need him to just be able to coax something out of this.
So 1-0 is the count. Soft toss over to first. Just keep Skinner honest. That pitch up high. 2-0 now is the count. If you're Lancaster, you got to be careful here. You don't really want to find yourself in a sticky situation as this is the number 1 batter. Leggett, then Richmond and Leatherwood due up, so that's where the Rangers want to get to.
Yeah, this is where Lancaster's got to settle down and start pumping over strikes.
And he does that just there. 2-1 now is the count here to Leggett.
I think you just have to believe that your fastball is going to be able to get past the guy that's hitting 231. Look, if you hit your spot and make your pitch and he hits it, more power to him. But I think you got to ride your fastball.
And there it is. Jeremy calling it as he sees it, a fastball that Leggett couldn't catch up with. 2-2 now is the count. Lancaster just reached back and put a little extra on that one.
Yeah, and I think you got to do it again. You want to try to hit the outside corner or inside corner, whatever, but I don't think there's any reason to do anything but run your velocity out there.
So the 2-2 pitch coming. This one sent to center field. Whittle's going to camp underneath it for the out.
Well, Leggett gave it a ride. He obviously knew fastball was coming and sped up his swing, but such a big ballpark. We began the day talking about how big this ballpark plays, and you see it again right there. No wind whatsoever and a hard hit ball, but that one wasn't even close to the warning track. And the pitcher's best friend, certainly the way the wind was blowing today, is how big the ballpark is, and it's an even bigger one now.
So now this is going to be Richmond at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. He walked his last time up, so he's 1 for 2 with a single. He has struck out. That first pitch high for a ball. 2 outs. Can the Indians find this final out and earn the split with the Rangers? That pitch just missing. Sandroni a little frustrated that one wasn't called a strike.
Yeah, I think he just wanted it because obviously Lancaster's been around the strike zone and in the strike zone since entering. And a little bit like what we saw with Jackson Smith. You figure these pitchers will get the benefit of the doubt late, but they have not.
This pitch fouled back off the netting. 2-1 now. Goes the count here on Tucker Richmond.
Well, Richmond, a guy that came into today hitting 400, so you can't make the mistake and just rear back and throw it like you would maybe with Leggett, but I think you're still going to see a velocity fastball.
And that pitch, good looking pitch, called a ball. A little bit too inside that time, and you hear the ICC fans moaning and groaning, the Northwest fans cheering, and that's a borderline pitch. It just didn't go the way of the Indians.
It is, and that I think is kind of what we're talking about. You would imagine that maybe the way these two guys are pitching that they would get more of the benefit of the doubt, but strike zone's gotten a little smaller, and there's the walk, and now you bring the tying run to the plate, and you're going to bring one of the better hitters Northwest has. As Coach Collier, I think, is going to have a parting shot before going out there, and now we talked about Northwest wants to get to Leatherwood. Well, here it is with a chance to tie it.
We'll take a break and hear from Sonic. Back with more right after this.
Crunchy Fritos, warm chili, melty cheese, all together for 99 cents. It's like real comfort food.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, and these guys keep pulling me back in. Pulling me back in.
Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves starting at 99 cents. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime. Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves. A Fritos chili pie. Juicy Junior Burger. Or Junior Wrap. Does all this comfort come at a price? Yes, it starts at 99 cents. Hurry in for Sonic's Fritos Chili Cheese Faves.
And welcome back, as that was just an extremely quick trip to the mound. I think it was just mainly to get out and voice your opinion to the umpire. That first pitch to Leatherwood across for a strike. 2 outs. Tying run is at the plate. That pitch missing outside, and
I think that one was probably low and away.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. You hear some ICC fans upset. We're ICC broadcasters in the situation. That was clearly a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Big, healthy swing there from Leatherwood. He was thinking about tying the contest. Instead, comes up empty with a 1-2 count.
Well, that fastball had some real movement, and that's where Leatherwood got caught. Nice job there by Lancaster.
1-2, 2 outs. Tying run at the plate. Top of the 7th. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. Jackson Lancaster fired up coming off the mound, and the Indians earned the split with the Rangers. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout. Lancaster picking up his 6th of the game to end it. And Jeremy, my oh my, what a day of baseball between two of the top teams in the country. Everything you expected and then some.
It was, and terrific baseball. We saw some great pitching. We saw some timely hitting. The long ball, we saw some good defense as well. Everything we saw, and obviously these two teams separated themselves among the rest of the teams inside the MACJC. And now it's going to be fun to scoreboard watch and see where this race ends up over the next week and a half.
Yeah, it's one of those feelings. This isn't the last time we've seen these two teams meet this season. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the Renaissance Bank postgame report right here on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, 6-3, your final here in Game 2. The Indians, Jeremy, pick up a big-time win there to earn the split. And I put emphasis on the earn because they did earn it this evening against a very good Northwest team. Northwest picks up a 5-2 win in the first game of the day. Indians 6-3 in the second game. I know you got some of those Little Caesars stats right there in front of you. Let's look at those.
You'll take a look at Northwest first, and we'll go down the lineup. Northwest ended up having 3 runs on 6 hits. They drew 5 walks but struck out 11 times. And to look at the individual stats for Northwest, Leggett 1 for 4, Richmond 1 for 2 with a couple of walks. Leatherwood was 0 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Booth, the DH, 0 for 3. Franks was 1 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. Van Cleve was 0 for 3. Mills was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Riggs was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Skinner was 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored and a run batted in. And that's a look at Northwest offensively. For ICC, the Indians had 4 hits, 5 runs batted in, only 2 strikeouts and 2 walks at the plate. Krieger was 0 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. Lancaster was 0 for 3. Siddell was 1 for 3 with a run scored. Medlin was 0 for 2 with a run scored, reached on a walk. Coker was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Domino 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. The big one was Jacob Hall, who is 1 for 2 with a run scored, 4 RBIs. He had a grand slam, which is the difference in the ball game. Sandroni 0 for 3, Bunch 0 for 2, and that's a look at ICC individually at the plate.
Taking a look at some of the Little Caesars instant replays after the game. As we talked about, ICC wins it 6-3. They improved to 29-6-1, 14-4 in conference play. Northwest falls to 26-8, 15-5 in conference play. So basically, we end the day where we started with the split, as ICC and Northwest still 2 of the top teams in the league. And we'll have to take a look and see what Hines did this afternoon with the East Central. Let's take a see if we can find a Renaissance Bank scoreboard update for you before we close this one out to kind of get a feed of the games. I know Kevin Maloney down there doing stats for us today.
Hines lost the first game.
So Hines lost the first game of the day, so that's going to be a little bit of separation for the Rangers and the Indians. So here we go. Let's take a look at some let's take a look at the some of the fans coming by and give us a shout out there. Mississippi Gulf Coast defeated Baton Rouge. That was in non-division play, 14-2. Holmes swept Mississippi Delta today. So Holmes is creeping back into that chase for the final spot in the playoffs. Pearl River took first game of defeated Southwest 11-2. It was Northeast over Meridian 10-4. And then Coahoma defeated East Mississippi. East Central picked up the win against Hines. There's no finals for game 2s so far in this one. So big day there at the ballpark. The Indians and the Rangers still sitting atop the conference. And Jeremy, as we said, this isn't going to be the last time we see these 2 teams play this season.
It won't, and it will be really fun to see what happens, as I said, the rest of the regular season until we get to the playoffs. And probably going to see this team again if you're ICC. You understand what you're going to be up against. Both teams have good pitching. Both teams can hit it. Both teams have solid defense, and should be a lot of fun. But it's a really big win for ICC in game number 2, especially after the way they lost game number 1 with those those errors late, and especially the one that cost them the 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning, and then to come back and get off to a good start. And then they had some game pressure put on them. Northwest got it to 5-3. Looked like they were threatening. And every time the Indians were pressured, they were able to come through. And then they got the huge hit and run in the bottom of the 6th inning, which led to the 6th run. And then Jackson Lancaster was fantastic when he came in, threw 51 pitches, 33 for strikes, and was really, really dominant with what he ended up doing with 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
And then, of course, our Sonic stars of the game, we're going to call them co-stars of the game. Jacob Hall, who had that grand slam, which really proves to be big after the 6-3 final. And then, of course, Jackson Lancaster getting the save there, picking up the co-star of the game. 2nd save of the season for Lancaster as well. So that's going to wrap it up for the Renaissance Bank post-game report. We do want to say a special thank you to Kevin Maloney for keeping the stats for us this evening here. And also Jeremy Kennedy coming in and helping out with the broadcast. You guys will be hearing more from him this season as well. Annabelle Bunch. Yes, Annabelle's going to come talk to us, the newest member of the ICC Indian delegation, coming by and saying hi. As that's going to do it. C.J. Adams coming in. Rafael Henry finally waking up and coming to see us here. Lee Adams up top. I'm Adam Gore saying have a blessed evening. And as always, Roll Tribe.